Students, my topic is neoplasia. Under this topic, I'll be covering introduction and definitions of neoplasia, nomenclature and classification of neoplasia, and biological behavior of tumors, including benign and malignant tumors. Now, what is neoplasia? We all are familiar with the word cancer. Word cancer means malignant neoplasm. So we know that it is a leading cause of death, which is second only to the cardiovascular disease. We can say cancer is not one disease. Why so? Because different cancers behave differently depending upon their site, type, spread of tumor. Even the same type of tumor differs in behavior in different individuals. They also differs in response to treatment. Some are curable simply with surgical excision, while some are fatal that may lead to death within few months even after aggressive therapy. So more we know about these etiology, pathogenesis, molecular basis, their biological behavior of tumors, more we understand the neoplasm better and more we can focus on the control of this disease. Here are a few definitions of neoplasm. The word neoplasia means new growth. Neo means new, plasia means growth. Many times we listen the word tumor. Now tumor was originally applied to the swelling which was due to inflammation. But now the term tumor is equated with the neoplasm. So whenever we use the word tumor, that means neoplasm. Now oncology. Oncology means study of tumors. Now this is the Willis definition of neoplasm. It says a neoplasm is an abnormal mass of tissue, the growth of which exceeds and is uncoordinated with that of the normal tissue and persists in the same excessive manner after the cessation of stimuli which evoke the change. Here it says abnormal mass. Now why this is abnormal? Even though it is arising from the cell of our own body, still not normal. So what's the difference from normal mass? If we take the example of hyperplasia or hypertrophy, we know that this is the mass, tissue mass due to physiological process. So if we take example of pregnant uterus, which is the example of hypertrophy and hyperplasia, the tissue mass increases in response to stimulus, but it regresses after the hormonal stimulus weans off. So it will revert back to normal. So whole process of these hypertrophy and hyperplasia that is under the control mechanism. But this does not apply to neoplasia. So these control of tissue mass doesn't occur in neoplasia. No response to control mechanism, even no dependence on stimulus, meaning it doesn't require any stimulus to grow. Hence, the growth of cell persists in the same excessive manner, which is excessive also and uncoordinated with the surrounding normal tissue cell. So that is what neoplasm is, which is different from the other mass, normal mass or hypertrophy, hyperplasia like mass. So here are the three key features of neoplasia. One, excessive tissue growth. Second, lack of responsiveness to control mechanism. And third, lack of dependence on continued presence of stimulus. So why this is so? There has to be something that is causing this type of change in cell behavior or cell properties. That can be explained by this definition, that is the modern era definition of neoplasm. It says neoplasm is a disorder of cell growth that is triggered by a series of acquired mutation affecting a single cell and its clonal progeny. Now here the word mutation is there. Now this mutation means the genetic alteration. It's a permanent change in genetic sequence. Now these permanent change can be because of many different reasons, that is called carcinogens. So different types of carcinogen that damages our DNA, that causes genetic alteration, which is called mutation. And because of these mutation, the cell acquires the advantage of growth and cell survival. So there are many changes that take place in the cell which leads to increased cell proliferation, which is autonomous also. That means the cell will grow autonomously, it doesn't require any stimulus. Even without the stimulus, cell will grow excessively and uncontrolled manner. As the genetics mutation is permanent, this change, which is abnormal genetic sequence, that is also permanent, and it will the same abnormal genetic sequence that will pass down to their progenitor cells also. So their daughter cell will also behave in the same manner. So the tumor which arises from the single cell which has incurred this genetic damage or alteration, their daughter cell after the proliferation and their progenitor cell, they all are arised from the single cell which has incurred the genetic alteration, and hence these tumors are called clonal. They are called clonal because they have arisen from the single clone of cell. Now the tumors, neoplasm, they are mainly of two different categories, benign and malignant. The main difference between benign and malignant tumors are, benign tumors they behave like an innocent manner. They are localized, they are well encapsulated, they are well demarcated from the surrounding normal tissue, and hence the surgical removal is very easily possible, and patient generally cure is possible and patient survives. While malignant tumor, they invade, they are infiltrating, they destroy the adjacent structure by the invasive properties, and they are poorly demarcated because they do not have any capsule, and also they have an infiltrative growth. So they are poorly demarcated. Even they can spread to distant site. Apart from the tissue of origin, they can spread to even distant site, which is called metastasis. So this all thing is possible in malignant tumors. So the cure is difficult in malignant tumors and patient may not survive. It can cause death. So malignant tumors, they are also called cancer. We are familiar with the word cancer. Now why this cancer is used for malignant tumor? Now this word cancer has driven from the Latin word of crab. Why crab? Because cancers usually they adhere firmly to the part of tissue where it has origin of the tissue. So just like a crab, similar to a crab, and hence the word cancer is used for this type of malignant tumors. Now all the tumors have two basic components. One is proliferating neoplastic cells, that is called parenchyma, and second is supportive stroma, which is made up of connective tissue and blood vessels. So all the tumors are made up of these two components, cell and stroma. Stroma means that will provide the structure and that will provide the blood supply to the growing cell, which is also must for the growth of the cell. Now if the parenchyma means cell component is more compared to stroma, the tumor will be soft. If the stroma, like connective tissue, is more compared to cell, the tumor will be hard. Now, what is the nomenclature? How the tumors are named? Again, if we classify the tumor, there are mainly two categories: benign tumors and malignant tumors. Now, if we say benign tumor, again they are recategorized into two according to the cell of origin: mesenchymal origin and epithelial origin. So, there are mainly two types of origin: tissue origin, mesenchymal tissue origin, and epithelial tissue origin. Mesenchymal tissue like bone, cartilage, muscle, blood vessels, fibrous tissue, fat, these are the mesenchymal tissues. While epithelial tissue, if we say, like squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, urothelium, so these are the epithelial tissues. So if tissue origin of tumor is mesenchymal cell, then tumors are simply named as OMA. They are identified as a suffix of OMA after the cell of origin. Say for example, if the benign tumor is arising from the bone, that is called osteoma. Osteo means bone, oma means benign tumor. Lipoma, benign tumor of lipus tissue या adipose tissue या fat tissue. Leiomyoma, here myo means muscle. Leiomyo means smooth muscle. So if the benign tumor arising from smooth muscle is called leiomyoma. Hemangioma, angio means blood vessels. So if the benign tumor arising from blood vessel is called hemangioma. Benign tumor of fibrous tissue, fibroma. Chondrous tissue या cartilage tissue, that is chondroma. So that was about the mesenchymal benign tumors. Simply tissue of origin plus OMA. Whenever we listen the word OMA, OMA indicates mostly benign tumors. Only very few exceptions are there. Otherwise, all OMAs are benign. Now coming to benign epithelial tumors. Here in benign epithelial tumors, they are variously classified as either cell of origin, microscopic growth pattern, or macroscopic architecture. Say for example, adenoma. Here OMA is there, means it is a benign tumor. Now the word adeno indicates glandular origin. If the benign tumor arising from gland, it is called adenoma. Papilloma. Word papillary means papillary architecture, either microscopic or macroscopic. That means finger-like projection. If we see grossly or microscopically finger-like projection, that indicates papillary. Here papilloma means benign tumor showing this papillary projection. Cyst adenoma, when the tumor contains cystic component in adenoma. Papillary cyst adenoma, where both papillary projections as well as cystic component is there. The word polyp indicates macroscopically visible projection above the surface. That is polyp. That is common in GI tract. Here are few photographs of all these tumors, epithelial tumors. So that was the nomenclature of benign tumors: benign mesenchymal and benign epithelial. Now comes the malignant tumor. Again, in malignant tumors also we will divide it into mesenchymal origin and epithelial origin. In mesenchymal malignant tumors, they are named as sarcoma. We just will remove the oma suffix of benign tumors and will replace with the sarcoma if it is a malignant mesenchymal. So malignant mesenchymal are called sarcoma and malignant epithelial are called carcinoma. Simple. Here are pictures of squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma. Now this is a table showing different benign and malignant tumors, list of benign and malignant tumors and origin of tissue. First of all, we can see this connective tissue origin of benign tumor. If it is called fibroma, malignant counterpart is fibrosarcoma. Oma is benign, sarcoma is malignant if it is a mesenchymal origin. Lipoma, benign, liposarcoma, malignant. Chondroma, benign cartilage tumor. Chondrosarcoma, malignant cartilage tumor. Osteoma, benign bone tumor. Osteosarcoma, malignant bone tumor. Angioma, benign blood vessel tumor. Angiosarcoma, malignant blood vessel tumor. So like so on. Remember, leukemia are the malignant tumor of blood cells, hematopoietic cells. Lymphoma are always malignant. They arises from the lymphoid tissue. Smooth muscle benign tumor are leiomyoma, and leiomyosarcoma are malignant smooth muscle tumor. If it arises from the skeletal muscle, benign tumor are called rhabdomyoma and rhabdomyosarcoma if they are malignant. So that was about the mesenchymal origin tumors. Now coming to epithelial origin tumors, in which benign are called papilloma, adenoma, and the malignant counterpart, they are simply identified by suffix carcinoma. Squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, bronchogenic carcinoma, renal cell carcinoma, hepatocellular carcinoma, and like so on. Now one category under this classification is mixed tumor. When they are called mixed tumor, when the tumor arises from a single germ cell layer but has two different lineage of differentiation. If in the same tumor, if we can identify the epithelial component also and the stromal component also, mesenchymal component also, then we can say it is a type of mixed tumor. The best example of mixed tumor is salivary gland pleomorphic adenoma. Another category is teratoma. Now teratoma is the tumor arising from the more than one germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So if the tumor shows the component arising from more than one germ layers, so there will be a mixture of tissue of different origin, either ectoderm, endoderm or mesoderm. And in the same tumor, we can identify the different tissues, altogether different, whether it is mature or immature. Now generally this tumor, teratoma, occurs in ovary or testis. They arises from the totipotent cell of gonads. So that was about the classification of tumor. Now we come to the characteristics of benign and malignant tumors, or biological behavior of tumors, benign and malignant. Now before we move on to the neoplastic proliferation, that is benign or malignant, we just briefly discuss what is the non-neoplastic and neoplastic. What is the basic difference between non-neoplastic process and neoplastic process? So non-neoplastic process, examples like hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, dysplasia, they are all controlled and reversible process. So up to the stage of dysplasia, the process can be revert back, is possible. Reversal is possible. And all these processes are under the control mechanism. Now you have already gone through this definition and terminology. So I just skip this. So what is the difference between this process and neoplastic process? Now neoplastic process, on the contrary, they are uncontrolled, they are irreversible. Under this neoplastic proliferation, we have benign tumors and malignant tumors. Now basically benign tumors are localized and non-invading. Malignant tumors are spreading, means they can spread to distant site, they can metastasize and they can invade. Okay, this picture shows invasion of the tumor. That means it crosses the basement membrane and it can grow deeper. So benign tumors are innocent, they are localized, do not spread, do not invade, and surgical removal is possible. While malignant tumors, they can spread, they can invade, they can destroy the adjacent structure. Now this is how all neoplastic and non-neoplastic process differ from each other. Now this is a normal two different type of cell, red and yellow. For example, in case of adaptation, that means non-neoplastic process, like in case of hyperplasia, all the cell type will proliferate, will produce a mass. While in neoplastic process, as they are monoclonal, they arises from the single cell. So only one type of cell will be there in whole tumor. So here we can see it is only a one red type of cell that is producing mass. And what is the difference between benign and malignant? Benign are well demarcated. The cells are generally similar to each other, while in malignant, they are spreading, they are invading. The cell also shows variation in the cell size and shape. They are out of the capsule, they are invading to the deeper part. So this is how it differs from the benign tumor. So that is what we are discussing about the difference between benign and malignant tumors. Now this difference will be based upon the differentiation and anaplasia, rate of growth, invasion and metastasis. So we will see one by one. First of all, according to differentiation, how benign tumors and malignant tumors differ on the basis of differentiation. So what is this differentiation? Differentiation means extent to which the neoplastic cell resemble to that of normal cell of origin. So how much it resembles the normal cell of origin? The cell is better differentiated. If the tumor shows the cells which look similar to the normal morphology, the tumor is said to be better differentiated or well differentiated. So most of the benign tumors are better differentiated, they are well differentiated. That means they look like a normal cell. But in malignant tumors, there will be a range of differentiation, but generally they are less differentiated than the benign tumors. So the look of the cell will be different from the normal cell. That is called anaplasia. Word anaplasia means total lack of differentiation. When we cannot identify the cell, suppose example squamous cell carcinoma, we cannot identify the cell as a squamous cell. That means it is a poorly differentiated tumor. So benign tumors are well differentiated and malignant tumors are less well differentiated. So which are the changes by which we can identify a cell as a malignant, or which are the features of anaplasia? So microscopically, when we see the tumor, we have to see these changes as following to say the tumor as malignant. First is loss of polarity. That means loss of architectural orientation. Normal cell orientation will be lost. Then pleomorphism. Pleomorphism means variation in the cell size and shape. These are all the features of malignancy. This is how loss of polarity looks. This is normal hyperplasia. Now here there is loss of polarity, which is mild. This is severe loss of polarity. We can see it is a loss of orientation. The orientation of cell structure which is completely lost. And once there is invasion, this is called carcinoma. Then comes the abnormal nuclear features, where increased size of nucleus, irregular nucleus, dark nucleus which is called hyperchromatic nuclei, irregularly clumped chromatin, prominent nucleoli, high NC ratio means nuclear size is greater as compared to cytoplasm. So all these that favors the malignancy. This is the picture showing abnormal nuclear morphology, where we can see enlarged irregular hyperchromatic dark nuclei, prominent nucleoli. At many sites we can see clumped chromatin, which is a dark clumping at the periphery of the nucleus. Mitosis. Mitosis means cell in a division state, that usually reflects the high proliferative activity of a cell. So it can be there in a rapidly proliferating cell, but mitosis are more in number in malignant tumors because malignant tumors are rapidly growing cell. So mitosis will be numerous in malignant tumors, and also there will be atypical mitosis. Here we can see there are the arrows showing atypical mitotic figures, which indicates a tumor as malignant. Here typical mitosis, the number of mitosis can be seen here. Then tumor giant cells. Here is a tumor giant cell which has a similar nuclear characteristic features as that of malignant cell, which is also can be seen in the malignant tumor. Necrosis. Usually the malignant tumors are fast growing cell, so they need more blood supply, and as a tumor is enlarging faster, the central area usually lacks the blood supply, which can get necrosed. So necrosis is very common in malignant tumor. So these were the features that were in favor of malignancy. If we see this type of morphological abnormality, we can say the tumor is malignant. So that was under the differentiation and anaplasia. So that was the first point by which we can differentiate benign and malignant tumor. Now the second point is the rate of growth. As rate of growth correlates with the level of differentiation, means better differentiated tumors are slow growing and poorly differentiated tumors are fast growing. So benign tumors are slow growing and malignant tumors are fast growing. Third point is invasion. As we know, benign tumors are non-invading because they are very well demarcated, well encapsulated from the surrounding structure. So they do not invade to the adjacent structure or deeper structure, but malignant tumors can invade to the deeper part. So this is the fibroadenoma, which is a benign breast tumor, which is very well demarcated from the adjacent structure. Malignant tumors are poorly demarcated and invade and infiltrate into the surrounding tissue, which is a hallmark of malignancy. Here we can say, the tumor cells are infiltrating crossing the basement membrane and infiltrating into the deeper part. That is how invasion looks like. Because of these properties, the grossly tumor will look like this. It has infiltrative border, poorly demarcated, there is no capsule, radiating margin into the surrounding tissue. So this is a malignant tumor. This is also malignant tumor, which is fungating, ulcerating mass. It is a cervical tumor, cervical squamous cell carcinoma. We can see this microscopic invasion also. So that was about the invasion, third point. Fourth point is metastasis. What is metastasis? Metastasis means tumor implants discontinuous from the primary tumor. So the tumor cell detach from the primary tumor and travel elsewhere and will produce the secondary tumor at the distant site, at different site. That is called metastasis, which is possible only in malignant tumors. Benign tumors do not metastatize, do not spread to other side. So if there is metastasis, if the patient present with metastasis, the tumor is only and only malignant. Now this is a summary what we had discussed so far. The difference between benign and malignant tumor. Benign tumors are well differentiated, while malignant tumors can be well to poorly differentiated. Loss of polarity can be seen in malignant, which is a loss of architectural orientation. Cytologically, cell look similar to normal in benign, while in malignant they show pleomorphism, high NC ratio, clumped chromatin, prominent nucleoli, increased cell nucleus size, cell size, abnormal mitosis, necrosis, tumor giant cell. Benign tumors do not invade to adjacent structures. They are well demarcated, while malignant tumors, they are invasive, infiltrating and destroying the adjacent structures. Metastasis is absent in benign, while it is frequently present in malignant. This is just to the diagram showing on one part is a benign tumor, which is a leiomyoma, benign tumor of smooth muscle of uterine myometrium, while on the right side there is a malignant tumor of the same myometrium, that is leiomyosarcoma. So grossly we can see it is a small localized and well encapsulated tumor which is not invading the either inner side or outer side in benign, while in malignant we can see the invasion on endometrial also as well as outer side also. It shows hemorrhage and necrosis in the center when we can see the tumor implants in the vein which will travel across the venous circulation and can spread the tumor elsewhere. Microscopically we can see the cell resemble to normal myometrial cell in benign, but they are pleomorphic and show all the malignant features in leiomyosarcoma. These are some photographs of benign tumor, papilloma, pleomorphic adenoma, which is a mixed salivary gland tumor, adenoma, follicular adenoma and villus adenoma, benign tumor, lipoma and hemangioma. Hemangioma does look like a cherry red as it is a blood vessel tumor. Schwannoma, which is a nerve sheath tumor. These all benign tumors are very well demarcated and well defined. Now comes the malignant tumors. Here we can see it is a squamous cell carcinoma, fungating, ulcerating growth with a hipped up margin, irregular margin. Basal cell carcinoma and melanoma, the spreading margin we can see. Thank you so much.